Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. My name is Josh Lilquist, and we are having a good time talking about trading and investing. And yes, right now we are live on the podcast. We are live on YouTube. Man, it's good talking about the financial markets to our listeners. Hopefully, we're helping people make smarter investing decisions with these great down markets that we're seeing. And yes, Al, I did say these great down
I know
markets.
you don't. We're not crazy, folks. We just know how to benefit from a down market.
That's the key. And that's why we have these investing classes that we do locally at our academies here to talk about down strategies, downward strategies. As the markets are going down, yes, there are possibilities there. It's just a strategy for that. You can text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 free tickets to this investing class to go through how these markets actually function, but also strategies to profit in down markets. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now. So, Al, in that last segment, we talked a lot about, what's happening with the psychology of people in the markets, and sometimes they do nothing because they're afraid. And that's okay to be afraid, but to do nothing, nothing will change. The worst place that you can be in right now, and be in that same place a year from now, 2 years from now, especially financially. You want to be able to grow. And I ended that last segment, Al, with something about, I mentioned that phrase that I'm sure a lot of our listeners have heard. Al, you may have heard this. It's money doesn't grow on trees. Anybody remember when you were a kid and you said, "Hey, Mom," or "Hey, Dad, can I get $5 for dinner tonight?" And yeah, it used to cost $5 for a meal. And they said,
nice meal.
a nice meal, yeah. And they said, "What do you think? Does money grow on trees?" Or do they say, "What do you think? Am I made of money?" So I want to talk about that for a second. What happens there is we're trained from a young age to think that money is scarce. Does money grow on tree? Do you think I'm made of money? Because you're taught, or what you hear as you grow up is almost reality. So most people are trained to think that they should not have money or a lot of it. So that's one of the things that we're seeing a lot of people come into these investing classes for is they're understanding, okay, there is an abundance of money out there. There's an abundance mentality that you can have as well. One of those things, if you think it, sometimes you can think things and they'll actually happen because you actually will work towards that. Now, you help a lot of people change not necessarily change, but sometimes question the mindset or almost the belief system. How do you help people get out of that mindset of money is always scarce and it's hard to get, and help people understand the strategies to use the markets to kind of flip that?
Well, what most of our students are looking for, Josh, isn't a money tree. They're not looking at becoming a billionaire in a week or two. They're looking for security, financial security. They're looking for comfort, something that can help them sleep at night. And they maybe have grown up with the situation, like you said, money doesn't grow on trees. I'm not made out of money. But then the advice they got was take 10% of everything you make and put it into a savings account.
Yeah.
And how well is that working? You got very little education or very little knowledge passed on to you by your parents, probably because they didn't have any knowledge.
Yeah, another one is put the money in the sock drawer for a rainy day, and it's no longer growing there.
Yeah, or under your
Mattress.
mattress, right? So here's what we want to do. What we do as a financial education facility is help you identify problems that you might have in accessing the market or being successful in it, and then help you find the right solution to take care of that problem. And it can be as simple as just identifying what is causing the fear, what is keeping you from taking advantage of what might be the best thing ever available to all of us to have the potential to create wealth. That's these markets. But people are just not teaching you how to do that. And that's what we do. The other thing that we want to help you with, I can remember, I'm going to really date myself here.
Let's
but
hear this one.
Back when I was in college, before there were the GPS systems, I actually drove a cab to help pay for my college tuition.
Okay.
There was no GPS system. I don't know. I honestly don't know how I ever found an address. Now people have GPS systems, right?
Yeah.
Most people that have any kind of financial education have been told you need to know about technical indicators. You need to know how to, first of all, look at the fundamentals of a company, which for the most part, especially for shorter term trading, for income uh, gathering, fundamentals are worthless because trades move up and down, or stocks move up and down in price on a significant basis very, very rapidly. That's not fundamentals changing. It's just buyers and sellers coming in to move the price. What we do is show you how to identify where the big buyers are and the big sellers are on a price chart. But the GPS system, that's part of a plan. We help all of our students put together a plan. And the GPS system, let's say you're in your car and you are looking for an address on 12th Avenue. How helpful would your GPS system be if it told you to turn right on 12th Avenue after you'd already gone past 12th Avenue?
That's a little
That's
difficult.
very helpful. That's what these technical indicators do. They're lagging indicators. So when
Uh-huh.
you see the price of something move in the direction you think it's going to go or that you want it to go, it's already happened before the technical indicators tell you it's going to happen. So they're lagging indicators, which get you into or out of a position too late. You're missing a good part of what the potential profit could be. So
Yep.
the plan should be like a GPS system that tells you in advance what to do or what not to do and helps guide you down the right path.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought that up because most traders, investors that learn off, those crazy things like YouTube. I mean, for heaven forbid, people are actually watching YouTube for investing advice, right? But people do it because that's what you think you're supposed to do. Well, if you wanted to learn the strategies to have a leading indicator, not a lagging indicator, that's what you need. And Online Trading Academy has a strategy that's designed to do that, to be in the markets when the institutions are in and out when they want to get out. So it's a strategy that's designed to follow them. Text the word investing to the number 210 right now to see more and hear more about how that actually functions. Text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 free tickets for an investing class to see those different opportunities with the market. Al, real quick here, so we're talking about a leading indicator. And it's not necessarily an indicator, it's a leading strategy. It's called supply and demand.
Hmm.
In a nutshell, just talk about as far as how supply and demand works. How does how does that work? Where you what are you identifying with that? And also give a real life example. We got about a minute to do that.
Yeah, well, what we're looking for are what moves price, what has an impact on something to the point where it can make the price go up or the price go down. And what that is, it's the impact of the big institutions, and it's just following. You mentioned supply and demand. That's kind of an economic law that really can't be argued. It's a valid law, so to speak, and it means that if there's more demand for something, the price is going to go up. If there's more supply of something, the price is going to go down. We're simply talking about buyers instead of demand, sellers instead of supply. When there are more buyers for a stock or for whatever the asset is, the price will go up. When there are more sellers than there are buyers, price will go down. So how do you use that to your advantage? You have to be able to identify where that imbalance between supply and demand is going to happen before it happens. If you want to participate, with the full potential of achieving the full profit, you have to be able to identify that in advance. We can use that strategy to our advantage because of the way the big institutions have to trade. Here's an example. Warren Buffett, a number of years ago, wanted to have a position in IBM stock, 64 million shares, $10.7 billion worth. No way he could get all of that filled at one time. So
Hmm.
part of it got filled, and then he did the rest in increments over 7 to 9 months. So what we do is show you where those incremental trades are going to take place. Big institutions, all the big traders, all the hedge funds, they have to do their trades that way because they trade in such large quantities.
Yeah, that's the key is to find out who's moving the market. We know it's the big money. We call it the smart money or the elephants, the Goldman Sachs, the Buffetts of the world. Find out who's moving the market. Once you know that, find out what they're doing and how they do that. And that's what the strategy that Online Trade Academy has. It's designed to follow them. If you want to learn more about that, as I mentioned earlier, we have those investing classes, local or at our academies here. And these classes are where we have taught thousands, just like you, are many strategies, and these are designed to teach you to make smarter investing decisions. And that can also be for trading decisions as well, short term income strategies and long term wealth strategies. Text right now. Text the word investing to the number 210 right now for 2 tickets. You can also bring your spouse with you. Text investing to the number 210 right now. You can also go online. If you're online, you can go to investwithota.com. Al, we have one more coming up left, so one more segment coming up, and we still have a lot more to talk about. I want to talk more about some psychology of trading and investing, how the markets are going right now. We've been seeing some big drops, some opportunities that we're seeing in the markets moving forward. Text the word investing to the number 210 for investing class tickets. We will be right back.